Hey guys, it's Melissa. Today we are in my backyard and we are going to be working on this flower bed right over here. I call this my potager garden. It is an area that is brand new to my yard. I absolutely love having it. We had this reworked, I think in May. Yes, May of 24. And I really haven't done a lot of the things that are here right now are from the previous way I actually had it. And we're going to be just going through cleaning things out, and I want to get some tulips planted. It is mid-January and I actually should have planted my tulips about a week or two ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago, but I have been sick and then we went on vacation, so life just kind of got in the way. Now, if you live in zone 9B like me, it's not necessarily bad, or any place actually, to plant them late. The reason why you want to get them in the ground on time is because it takes a certain number of days for the tulip to actually grow up, and then you have a show for a couple of weeks. Well, what I have done, because I've waited so long to actually get the tulips in the ground, what's going to end up happening is my show with the flowers isn't going to be very long, because it's going to end up getting too hot and then they're going to wither and die. And that's just unfortunately the fact of life for me this year. So if you live in zone 9B California like I do, you can absolutely plant tulips. What I have been doing is I actually, at my husband's business, we have a fridge, and during a few months out of the winter, I actually put those, I tell everybody you can't put anything in the fridge. Now, I did find a bottle of ketchup in that fridge, so somebody, I don't know who, didn't listen to my words. So I am hoping that they will still bloom. What happens is if there's like fruit like tomatoes in the fridge, it actually makes it so you'll grow the green foliage of the tulip, but you're not going to get the flower. So I am hoping that I will still, maybe ketchup's different. I don't know. There's something in the tomato, like some sort of acidity that causes the problem. Not exactly sure why, but anyway, that's why it's important not to actually have fruit in your fridge during that time. But you can absolutely grow tulips in zone 9B, and it's beautiful. Last year, I'll put some pictures up. Last year my show was absolutely beautiful. My front yard, I did just a few here and there just to see. It was my first time actually planting tulips. I put them in the fridge as well, and they did just fine and they looked beautiful. But I planted them at the right time, and there was nothing in the fridge like tomatoes or ketchup. So we'll see what ends up happening. This year I bought enough to put in my front yard and my backyard. I probably won't get to putting them in my front yard today, but I at least want my backyard planted up. And I think it's going to be beautiful. So this is the potager garden. As you can see, I did plant some, oh shoot, what are those called? That's right, I did plant some vincas here. They are a perennial for us here in zone 9B California, and they looked so pretty. I just had them lining here. I did not put them here just, you know, because this is where the natural plan of it was going to be. I just wanted to have color in the ground. As you can see right here, I do have a little bit of cardboard left over. I was actually doing the cardboard method of getting rid of weeds, because this was all grass before. Right here, this was all grass. Now, when I say grass, I'm using that word loosely because the fact that what I had was Bermuda grass in my backyard. Every couple of years, we'd pull up all the grass, the Bermuda. We would plant something else, something nice, but eventually it just takes over and it takes over. So anyway, that's what was in my flower bed, was a lot of grass. And so I used the cardboard method to actually get it out, and it worked perfectly. I didn't have to pull anything. I did at first start with, you know, digging things up, and I thought, why am I doing this? Let me try this. And so I did it in my friend's garden as well, and it worked perfectly. So I did it in mine, and once again, it worked absolutely perfectly. So I do need to trim up all the vincas and get them all flush and to the ground, and anything else that's in here that I really don't need, I'm probably gonna pull. I've got to do some weeding right there as well. I do have to trim back the nepeta that I have growing along my pathway right here, and then we're just going to get to town and actually plant the tulips. And I think I'm going to do this entire thing. I think it'll be so pretty, just one big swath of tulips. What do you think? Won't that be beautiful? So this is what I'm going to be using once I plant the tulips. I'm going to be using the Espoma bulb tone, and it's again what I used last year. It's very healthy for the tulips to put those things in, and these are my tulips. So I have Metamorphic. I have 100 of them. Best White, Averon. I think it's pronounced Averon, but I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. This one is Rosy Diamond. Don't mind the kids' baseball stuff. Tryouts just started yesterday, so we're getting ready for that. And this is Wedding Gift. So, oh, and this one doesn't have a tag, but look at here. Now, tulip bulbs are not supposed to freeze in the fridge, so I'm hoping everything will be okay. I know that it should be okay because it's only frozen just a tiny bit, but we're not supposed to do that. So never put your bulbs in the freezer, only in the fridge. So I'm just gonna get to town now, cut everything back what needs to be cut out, weed what needs to be weeded, and just get started on this project. I wanna get them in the ground today, no later than that. All right, so if you have some perennials that you need to cut back to get ready for the new year, this is all I do. I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to cut it down close to the bottom, like so, and that's it. All new growth will start to grow. Actually, you can start to see a couple of things that are brand new right here. So there you go. It's super simple to do that. You don't have to worry about it. If you're nervous about it, it's no big deal. That's exactly how it is. All right, we're gonna do it with the Nepeta now. We're gonna just find the base. It's in here somewhere, probably right there. And we're just gonna cut back all the scraggly stuff. Just like that. There we go. Let's see what else we've got. There we go. All right, just like that. In fact, I could actually cut it back even smaller to make it really look good. I'm not gonna kill the plant. I'm just getting ready for rejuvenation is what I am doing. All right, so I just looked it up. It's ethylene gas that actually causes the blooms of the tulips to not bloom if it's stored together. And tomatoes, anything pretty much acidic that grows, that is next to a bulb in like a fridge, makes it so it doesn't grow. So there you go. Hello, girls. Hello, honeys. Hello. You have some broccoli. I had planted garlic in this bed last year, and obviously I must have left some in the ground by mistake when I harvested them in May, and they have sprouted. But not only that, every single clove has actually sprouted. If you look at this. This is several garlics right here. And there's a little patch right here as well of all these little garlics as well. Oh my goodness. So maybe if I'll have time, I'll actually try to pull these up as carefully as possible and separate them and then replant them so that maybe I'll get a nice little harvest out of them. You never know. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my tulip bulbs. I'm gonna just actually put it all in this big tub right here and just mix it in because I really don't want a pattern. I just want it to be mixed together. I think it'll look so beautiful like that where it just all the different colors are mixed together. I have a lot of pinks, a lot of purples, some whites. I think it's gonna be a pretty little blend. All right, so I found this chewy box. What we'll do is we'll just actually dump all the tulips here instead. And if you haven't noticed, I bought these tulips from a website called Color Blends. This is my second time purchasing them from this company, and I really like them. Last year, I feel like I only had a few that were like molded, just not really good for use, but overall, it was fine, and the show was beautiful. I got everything. They looked exactly the way I wanted them to look when they were in bloom. It was perfect. So I'm expecting the same thing from this, unless the ketchup causes problems. We'll find out. But I think it should be a beautiful show. All right, so here's another one that is moldy. That's really not good. I'm not going to plant this one because it's got a lot of that green mold on it. But everything else, I mean, it looks pretty good. And I just pulled these out of the freezer, or out of the fridge yesterday. Yes. No, today. Actually, I pulled them out of the fridge today. So no reason for them to look like this in the fridge, but you know, it happens. This one looks pretty dried out, so I'm not even gonna plant that one either. But this one says, get me out of here. I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready to be planted. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna plant, this is the roots. This is the top. See how it's starting to sprout up? We're gonna plant the roots down, the pointy side up. And if it doesn't have it like that, just pointy. Roots down, pointy side up. And we're just gonna put it straight in the ground, about 5-6 inches, and cover it up. Oh shoot, hold on. I forgot my espuma. Don't wanna forget this. And I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top, not fuss about how much I'm putting in. All right, hopefully I have enough still for the front yard. All right, and we're just gonna take the bulb, we're gonna push it in and cover it up. And voila, that's done. So, flat side down, pointy side up. If it's not sprouted, that's what it'll look like. Flat side down, pointy side up. And we're just gonna put it in the hole, 5 to 6 inches deep, and cover it up. And that's it. That's how we're gonna do it. All right, guys, I got all those tulips planted in the potager garden area, and it's going to look so good. At least, fingers crossed, I hope it does. I know, I look lovely, don't I? Actually, to be honest with you, this is my favorite part. I love feeling this way. This is a great way to just relax and enjoy myself. I don't have to worry about how I look, how I'm dressed. I just go out there, play in the dirt, and it just feels so good. I hope you guys got your bulbs in before I did, and I hope that there was no ketchup bottles in your fridge either, but you know, it is what it is. We'll see how it turns out, and I'm hoping in a couple of weeks we'll start seeing a great show. All right, guys, you have a great day. See you next time. Bye.